Enough to knock me out, but I'm still holding the throne. You never know till it's over. So pretty it hurts. Just beware of the thorns.
On YouTube, I've tried 3 times making this video. This is the 3rd attempt. Actually, yeah, this is the 3rd attempt trying to make this. So hopefully I get it this time. But if you like prison content and you're new here, subscribe. Hit the like, notification, and share. And leave a comment. I always try to answer all comments. And if I miss a comment, I apologize. I try to get them all. And I really enjoy hearing from you guys, your feedback, and some of you guys tell stories, and I love it. And now, I know I've been doing these videos where I go from one prison to another, talk about the different prisons I've been in, and I still got some more to do, but I want to change the subject right now. I want to talk about the young people out here messing up. Some of them are on their way to prison. I hate to hear about anybody going to prison, but some of them will probably go to jail or prison. And many of you, especially in the area I live in now, you guys ain't ready for prison. You didn't grow up in a violent neighborhood or in areas where there's crime, a lot of crime and a lot of violence. You guys around here, you farm boys ain't ready for that. It's going to be a shock to you, culture shock. So that's what I want to talk to you about. It's got a whole different world when you get to hit the prison. And many of you guys are thinking, well, you're not thinking. That's the problem. But you need to start thinking about the choices you make, the decisions you make, and stop letting other people talk you into doing things. Because when you get caught, if somebody's talked you into doing something, chances are that when you guys get caught and you're in the jail, he's going to throw all the blame on you. That's what people do nowadays. Try to get out of trouble. Throw the blame on the next person. Even if whether you were the ones who planned it or did it or whatever, or they're going to put the blame on you. Sang like a damn canary. Or just, lie and say you was the one who did it. You got to think about that. You got to think about your parents ain't always going to be able to get you out of everything. Unless, of course, you're a politician or somebody way up, and, then you might get out of it. But if you're just like the regular kid around here, nah, the parents ain't going to get you out of it. Not all of them. Maybe some of them. Not all of them. And, you get to prison. Somebody asked me told me the other day they was going to prison. What should I prepare for? They're just thing. You got to stand up for yourself. And once you do that, you'll be all right. There may come times you'll be in other fights and stuff, but it won't be because somebody's trying to extort you or oppress you or, anything like that. Or you can just not fight. I'm not saying you have to. If you want to be a boy or be prey to everybody, picked on all the time, canteen taken, and you want that. And I guess whatever, I'm not ready to float your boat. But it's mainly, you're not going to be able to call when you want. You can only call when you're out around phone calls. The phones, they let you out. You just can't, I'm going to call mom. It doesn't work that way. And nowadays there's people fighting and stabbing one another over phones. I remember when I was First got to prison, that wasn't an issue. At least I don't remember it being an issue. You know, there's always plenty of opportunity to get on the phone. There weren't people hogging the phones. Nowadays, they act like they, and at least in Missouri, they act like they own the phones. That's what I'm hearing anyway. I mean, I've only been out 5 years, and I can't believe how much it's changed. And especially licking, I said it's getting worse. But anyway, if you do go to prison, you don't have to just worry about that. You have to worry about, you know, the phone situation. You know, and you can't see your family anytime you want. It's only on visits. They only have visits on the weekend. Just imagine going up there and seeing the pain on your loved ones. Yeah, you may laugh and have a good time there at the visit, but there's going to be this pain in their eyes. And especially when they leave, some of them might be crying. Do you want to make your parents cry? Your sister or your brother cry? That's why a lot of people refuse visits. And I understand, and I respect them for it. You know, I understand. They don't want to go through that. They don't want to see their family or loved ones crying. I never refused visits, but I understand the ones who did. There's some that just didn't get visits because people live too far away. So if your loved ones live out of state or somewhere, or just too far to come and see you, then you won't get any visits. But you know, it's just you got the guards and staff telling you what to do, when to do it. But I want to get back to this guy. He asked me what to expect when he got to prison. You know, how to act and stuff. You know, I would say don't go in there acting like a badass. Don't go in there if you're a young teenager or something, with the chest all puffed out, arms out. Somebody's going to try you. And unless you really are tough and about that, you're going to get hurt. But you do need to stand up for yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be a boy, or people going to be taking your canteen, preying on you all the time, you know. You got to respect other people's property. You know, don't touch your celly's stuff unless he says so. And even then, when I was in prison, I wouldn't, you know, I had celly said, "Hey, get in my locker and get this." No, I'm not doing it. And nose itches. I'm not doing it for the simple fact that something comes up missing. I'm the first person that you're going to look for. You get in your locker yourself. The only person I did get in the locker of was my partner. He was one of the few people I trusted. I'd only trusted a handful. I mean, there was a lot of people I associated with, but only a handful that I really trusted. You know, back at the walls, we had people we called road dogs. It's been shortened to dog, and now it's just thrown away. It doesn't have the meaning that it originally did. A road dog, to me, somebody who had your back and you had theirs. They would ride with you until the wheels fall off. That's what we always said. Nowadays, everybody calling everybody dog. They're using it as a form of greeting to people they don't even know. Hey, dog. You know, it's not what it really meant. But he was the only one, you know, that I allowed in my locker, and I would get in his, you know, if he asked me to get something. A lot of times we had our stuff kind of combined anyway. Do not, if your celly's in the cell eating, come on, man, don't pass gas. It's going to get you hurt real fast, and it's disrespectful. Try not to use the bathroom, you know, unless while he's eating. I mean, you can hold it for a little bit. It ain't gonna take him long to down that food, trust me. That meal he made, he's been waiting on that. It ain't gonna take him long. You can hold it a little bit. But back to the guys who may be coming to, they're messing up out there. You guys need to think about what you're doing. Your mom and dad ain't gonna always be able to get you out of everything, like I said. And you guys around in these small towns and stuff, you ain't ready for it. You get there, you guys don't think. And then when you get arrested and everything, and then it's like you don't think it's your fault, Oh, I was just doing. You don't think busting a window out of cases and going in there and stealing a pack of cigarettes is a crime? I don't know what's wrong with people these days. And then there's this. I want to talk to the women out there who may have somebody who's into the criminal stuff, doing messed up things. There are some that ask their girlfriend or wife to take the blame for them, usually because they've already been in trouble before, and they know that each time they get in trouble and arrested and everything, they get more time. Some in prison really appreciate that. I've heard stories of guys, guys almost crying as they tell about their girlfriend taking the blame for them. But there's others that they laugh about it. They think it's a joke. I can't believe she took the blame for me. Ha 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 ha. This stupid, call you names and everything else. They don't appreciate it. Why? If you have a clean record, get this a little closer. If you got a clean record, why would you mess that up? I'm just saying. You're gonna go to prison for somebody else, and then you got this record on you, and then most of them really don't appreciate it. There's a few that do, well, I'll admit to that, I'll let you know that. There's a few that really appreciate it, but most do not. And you guys that are out there, maybe involved in things together and get caught, one of y'all is going to sing like a canary. Put the blame on somebody else. You may have just been in the car, not involved in it. You get accessory charge, because you was there. But you could get the blame for it, because everybody else who's involved may point at you, who you were just sitting in the car while they broke into cases or whatever. And then they put the blame on you because they don't want to get any more time. Or maybe you put the blame on them. Either way, somebody's going to be telling on somebody. That's the way it usually happens these days. And guess what? Even though the person that did the telling, they're putting the blame on the other person, even though he may not get as much time as some of the others, he's probably still going to end in prison. And his friends that he told on is going to let everybody know. And so you're going to have this snitch jacket. They're going to put a snitch jacket on you. That's just a label they put on you. Nobody's going to trust you. You might get your ass beat for snitching. The guys that you told on might beat your ass. You know, you gotta. Snitches are not well liked in prison. Even people, it's not snitching, but it is. You know, people that put the blame on somebody else. And I really hate those people. You know, you can't take responsibility for what you did. Piece of dung. Uh, Everybody sings. Everybody. There's been times this guy was talking about he. Everybody put the blame on him, but he said they was really blaming everybody. You know, everybody was blaming everybody. Truth of the matter was he was probably doing some blaming too. But he was telling the story as if they all told on him, and he he ended up with the most time according to what he said. But that just goes to show you, you know, don't do. If you are going to do something, don't do it with somebody. But your best bet is not to do it at all. Stay out of prison. You know, that's what me and some of these other YouTube prison genre channels. That's what we're wanting. We're wanting people to stay out of prison. And I'd like to say something to the ex-cons getting out. You know, don't fall back into what you was doing. You know, you can make it out here. I know they ain't really got a lot of job training things in Missouri prisons, but you can make it out here. You know, and especially now, you know, because of this COVID thing, there's more jobs available. You know, so the opportunity to get a job, somebody will hire you. You know, it's just don't give up. But I would like to mention now that the reason there's more of an opportunity now is because of this COVID thing. And I want to say something about that real quick. It's kind of off subject, but when this pandemic thing, this COVID thing first started, and they was telling us we could only go to stores or places if it was essential. You know, only essential workers worked. And people started calling it a lockdown. It's not a lockdown, people. That's almost offensive to me. If you was able to leave your house and you was able to go places, you were not on a lockdown. Trust me. A lockdown in prison is when you don't leave your cell. So out here, if they put us on a lockdown, we're not leaving our house. That's what a lockdown is. You guys calling this a lockdown is a joke. You know, it's it's not a lockdown. I mean, you guys can call it that, but anybody who's been in prison, been in jail, been through a lockdown, you all know what I'm talking about. Now I want the people who may not have who are not involved in anything criminal, who are doing what they're supposed to be doing, who've never been to jail or prison. I want to tell you guys, do not take do not take this freedom for granted. You know, I appreciate every little thing now since I got out. I mean, I appreciate the sound of somebody mowing their yard. I appreciate rides in cars. You know, I used to not think about these things. I used to, you know, somebody mowing your yard, riding in the car, driving the car. These things used to be things I didn't even think about. But I tell you, when you get to prison, you'll miss things like this. You know, just little things, little detailed things, you know, wow, you know, I missed the sound of somebody, my neighbor mowing his grass, or me mowing my grass, or whatever. Just little things that you'll miss. appreciate your freedom out here. You know, there's a guy, he's subscribed to me, and he told me, he says, your worst day out here in the free world is better than your best day in prison. And that's so true, you know. And see, don't take anything for granted. And if I may also add, you can go to prison for anything, you know. Um, when I killed my brother's abuser, I expected to get arrested, you know. And I even expected maybe to do a little bit of time. I mean, after all, I did kill the guy. But I didn't expect to do that much time. There's people in prison for statutory rape. I know one guy, he had a girlfriend. At first, they was both, underage, you know, and he got where he was, you know, she was minor and he was, and parents had no problem with it. And then, for some reason or other, they get upset at him. The parents of the daughter get upset at him over something and decide to turn him in, charge him with statutory rape. So this guy's life pretty much got ruined because the parents were mad at him over something trivial. So they decide that he can't see their daughter anymore, and so they made sure, you know, that it's petty, you know, to do that to somebody. You ruined that child's life, that young man, teenager. You ruined his life. Not to mention having your daughter mad at you for what you've done. I mean, people who do this, you need to think of the lives you run. It's the same way people turn people in for, urinating in public. You know, if I'm walking down there with loved ones or something, and I see somebody urinating in public, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be mad, yes. I may even fight him over it. I don't know. You know? Probably not, but I'm going to be really pissed at him. But I'm not going to turn him in so that he ends up with a sex charge. That's what he's going to get. You know, there's other ways of handling things instead of running people's lives for something like urinating in public, or, you know. But I want you guys to stay free, you know. Appreciate this life, you know. I know it's not always the best, you know, but there's nothing to complain about compared to those who are in prison right now, sitting back there. Some of them deserve to be back there. Some of them don't. But either way, we got it a whole lot better than they do. And so I want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And hope to see you next time. Bye.